So everybody keeps telling you to ignore your 3D reality and that it is going to change. We have all ignored our reality and we heard echoes. So if ignoring reality is the key, why are we all not getting the same result? And the answer to that is very, very simple, because most people are telling you to ignore the reality, but they are not telling you what that means. How do I ignore my reality and how is this applicable to my real life? So we're going to actually break down how you're going to ignore reality so that you can see results in your life fast. Nothing cliche. People even joke and call me the hood whisperer because I explain these complex concepts in a way that a fifth grader can understand. How you can apply it to your real life with real circumstances. And that's what we're going to do in this video so that you don't have to manifest for 10 years anymore and you can jump timelines in 7 days. So let's just get into it. So most of the time when people are telling you that you need to ignore your reality, they are not lying to you, but there's a certain point where you're ignoring reality, not the whole entire time. And to take that a step further, it is not about acting like your reality does not exist. It's more so about not letting reality and what's going on inside of that reality dictate who you show up as. Because the version of you who has what you want, do you think that she's leading reality or is reality responding to her? Now, reality is also responding to you, but if you don't know this simple curve that you're going to go through in the process of manifestation, you aren't aware of where you are, so it's going to be a lot more lag time. The good news is when you understand the identity shifting curve, you have the capability to bend reality in ways that look crazy to everyone else in just 7 days. So this is the process that everyone goes through whenever they try to manifest something. So this is going to explain why it feels like it's not working. And I'm going to explain what you need to do in between each of these points so that you successfully make it to the next one. So at point 1, that is uninformed optimism. So at first, this is when you're excited. It feels easy. You're like, yes, I got this. I'm going to start posting the content. I'm going to start the business. Everything is going to be great. Now, before we move to point 2, traditional manifestation teaches us that this is where we have to stay. But that is not the real process. You're going to go up, down, and your identity is going to be getting tested at different levels. It's not necessarily a test, but it's surely going to feel like it. So at point number 2, this is when informed pessimism comes into the picture. So with informed pessimism, this is when all of your doubts are going to show up. Your old identity is going to fight you back like hell. So it's going to throw everything, things that are personal to you, so that you feel like you cannot do it. This is when people, they're like, I just can't do this. And guess what? Especially if they're following like the traditional manifestation route, guess what they're going to do? They're going to say, oh, you know what? I need to ground. I need to get back to a place of vibrational alignment. And in their mind, this is vibrational alignment. It's motivation because they don't understand where they are on the chart. So guess what? They go back here. And this is where people start to loop. And this is why it feels like manifestations, they take a long time, especially if you're one of those vibrational snobs, which I used to be. I used to be an avid Abraham Hicks listener about 15 years ago. Well, I still listen to her, but now I don't interpret it as I have to keep my frequency high all day, because that's what kept me stuck for almost 3 years. Now, after you've been at the informed pessimism state for a while and you're trying to go up to vibrational alignment, this is the period where you have to ignore reality. And it doesn't mean that you didn't look at reality, because this is how you got here. Your doubt showed up because you looked at reality on point 2 so that you can know where you were and where you were trying to go. But at that point, now this is where you completely let go of what reality is. And during this section, a lot of people quit here because this is when you take small, daily, specifically very boring actions that your higher self takes on a daily basis. And it can be something completely unrelated to what you want to manifest, but it's something that your higher self is something that she does on a regular basis. That will take you straight to vibrational alignment. Now, let's just say that the thing you done that she does every day is you drink a lemon drop. Maybe she drinks a lemon drop, but you're trying to grow the business that she has, right? So in the meantime, you're still going to be taking those actions that she takes. You don't have to do that every day, but you're going to find the boring thing, which might be the lemon drop that she takes every day. That would be boring for me. But so what this is going to look like in this period, it's going to look like nothing is happening. So let's just say she's a content creator, right? She's going to be posting during this time, right? She being you. You're not going to get any viral videos. You're not going to get no mini viral videos, no nothing until you get here. So what's going to happen is because you are doing those daily things like the lemon drop, it's going to put you in alignment and one of those videos are going to pop off. So let's just say you want to get a 1,000,000 view video right here. This is when you'll get the 100,000 view video. Now, this is at this stage, you're like, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm going to do that thing and I'm going to go straight here to my goal. But that's not how it happens. What usually happens right there is you get run into a crisis. Now, it's very important to know why you run into the crisis. So the reason why you're running into this crisis is because right here on step number 3, vibrational alignment, what that also means is that you were successful in implanting this new belief into your subconscious mind, right? You implanted the new belief and you were successful. So what has to happen when you do that? Your subconscious mind, something interesting to note is that you cannot have 2 dominant beliefs about the same thing. So luckily for you, the new belief will be the thing that's accepted, especially after the repetition of the identity over and over and over again. But now, what does the subconscious mind do with those old beliefs? It has to purge them. It does it by spitting it out on the screen of reality. So that's going to look like a crisis, right? Some people at this phase, right, they'll go and they're like, oh, I got to put out this fire. And now your dominant focus is that crisis. Guess what happens when you do that? Your subconscious mind, it reabsorbs that belief. And then that's when people, they're like, oh my God, I got to get alignment. I'm so overwhelmed. And then they go all the way back up here to step 1. Let me move me down. They go right here to step 1 and they start over. This is the worst loop to have. Now, I'm a little lazy, so my loops, they happen right there. But to have a loop here, do you know how much work that takes? If you are in a vibrational or a manifestation depression, this is why. This is the loop that you're probably stuck in. And it's really good to note what loop you are stuck in because you're going to know what you need to do to get out of it. All right. So I told you what not to do when you are at the echo, right? So the thing that you're not going to do when you're here, again, we are not going to fight the echo. Now, if you need to put a Band-Aid on it, do what you need to do. Put the Band-Aid on it. But what you're going to do after that, right? Right here, you're going to practice this Chinese philosophy. It's called Wu Wei. So I'm going to have you double down on it. Now, there are a couple of other things you need to do, but the most important thing is Wu Wei. Now, Wu Wei is a very hard concept to explain because I feel like there are not words invented yet to express what Wu Wei is. A lot of people think it's the art of doing nothing, but you're doing something. Basically, you are moving with the current. So you're going to get little nudges to go here, to go there, but it's not going to seem like it's amounting to anything, but that's going to lead you to detachment. Now, let's just say if you didn't take the Wu Wei route, right? Some people, you know how between step 2 and 3, you were supposed to be taking like small actions of the higher self? Some people force it. They're like, no, I'm being the higher self. I'm being the higher self. Guess what? It still takes you there, but you're going to have a crazy effed up ride there. So that's why this says you can either get there through a crash out or through being neutral. Either way, you'll get there, right? Unless you decide to go back because you've already implanted it right here at number 3 into your subconscious mind. So after this, what happens? So now I have you starting to aim for this thing, another Chinese philosophy called Satori. When you have Satori, guess what that means? You are connected to the quantum field. So once you're connected to the quantum field, guess what? This is where all of the aha moments live. You just happen to know what to do. That's why I call this part informed optimism. So instead of having optimism because you had the faith of a mustard seed at the beginning or because you were excited or because you were motivated, now you know exactly what to do, even if you've never done it before. So this is where all of the answers live, in the quantum field. You have Satori. You have a connection to all that is. Most people want to go straight from here to here, but guess what? You can't do that. If you do, this is going to be terrible for you. You know why? Because this is a process of purifying your mind and it's getting rid of all the things that'll keep you from holding its frequency. Because once you're here, you know what to do. So then you start taking action again and then you get to the achievement. So imagine if you went straight from here to here and you started making achievements. This is the most important to note because after that, guess what? Depending on how you feel when you get here, you are going to be inspired to the next thing. So there's going to be something that you're like, I think I want to do this to fix this little problem. It's not going to be a big deal if you're feeling good and you are steady in the identity. And then this is going to be your new baseline and you're going to accelerate up into the next identity from there. But what if you didn't go through this mind purification process? What do you think would happen? Listen, it would be disastrous because look, or desperation is going to drag you back here. So imagine somebody that just, and there are people who go from here to here. Those are the people who feel like you look at their lives and you like, well, damn, you don't look like what you've been through. This is why. So this is your friend. This is the process of implanting a new belief, getting rid of the old ones. This is a process of mind purification so that you can hold what it is that you asked for. So the craziest part about this is that you can understand this chart, right? And you can know all of this and you can just go back to the way that you were living and wake up tomorrow like you never even seen this video. And that's because most of us, we don't need more information. You already knew this intuitively on a soul level. Most of us, we only need time so that reality can catch up to who it is we're being. So we just need time so that we can practice the identity of the person who has what we want. And that's why I created the Quantum Leap Challenge. We do it one time per year. This is our 3rd annual one. Because again, most people, they understand this. They just don't stay in the identity long enough so that it can actually change their lives. So instead of trying to hold this by yourself, you're going to be in a container where you are guided in real time. You're going to know exactly where you are on this quantum leap chart, and you're going to know exactly what you need to do when you need to do it with very specific instructions. If you're watching this and you're like, Shalise, that's exactly where I am on the chart, you're ready to sit inside of your new identity long enough so your 3D reality can actually catch up this time. I'm going to leave the link in the description and you can check it out if you feel like that is your soul's next step.